Okay, so for this build, we are going to need a simple cake pan here with a lid. And that lid is just to help hold in the heat as your rodents are thawing. Next, I went ahead and purchased one of these heat mats. This one is by Zilla. It was the cheapest one actually at the local pet store. So again, just use a small one. It fits perfectly for this size pan. I'll go ahead and get it out. My only complaint about the Zilla and the Zoomed heat pads is they're self-adhering. I personally don't like that because once you stick it to something, it's forever stuck to that project. But Exoterra, I believe, is the one who makes them to where they are not self-adhering and you can just simply use duct tape. I would recommend that over these self-adhering ones in case you want to change the pan or whatever. But to do this video, this was what I had to go with because that's what I could get right away. And that is upside down. There we go. So it's just going to simply be put on the bottom of the pan just like that. So we're going to go ahead and just peel the paper off the back there and then just apply it to the middle of the pan as much as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, and just make sure that it is properly adhered to the pan as much as possible. And then we're going to put these little rubber feet on here because that's going to keep it from sitting directly on the pad, and that's where people have problems with burning them out or cracking aquariums and things like that. So we're just going to go ahead and put those on and make sure everything is sticking to the pan as well as it can be. So there you have it. We are done here. You could just simply finish it at this. Just out of sheer curiosity, I went ahead and bought one of these little sticky thermometer gauges here. Of course, you know, this isn't going to be exactly 100%, and it really isn't needed. But again, I was just curious just to see the temperatures I could get on the inside of the unit. So I thought, why not spend a couple bucks and just get one to stick it to the inside of the pan. Here, eventually I will stick it to the inside of the pan. I guess I should have edited that. Here we go. Moving on. So yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out exactly what side I want it on. I'm just going to go ahead and go stick it with this side. Voila. That's how it is applied. So we are done with all of that. There you go. Lid, whole thing. I think total this cost me about 40 bucks. So, and we're looking pretty good. So here it is. I just got feeding most of my snakes here, minus the rats I feed the big snakes. But you can see we can get quite a bit of feeders in here. And I don't know if I could actually get a shot. So this is right when I put them in, but by the time I went to feeding them, the tub did get up to 85 degrees. So the thing I like the most is everything stays dry. The paper towel is in there to help absorb the moisture that does come off the rodents, but we're not dunking them in water, and therefore the rodents don't stink near as much, and everything is dry. So even if they drop it on the substrate, they will still be able to eat it without having it all mucked up with substrate. Shake and bake, as Viper Keeper says. So overall, this was a pretty fun little project. The only thing I would do differently is if you needed to thaw more rodents, I would move to maybe like a cookie sheet or some larger pan, and then obviously just use a larger heat pad. But for a small collection that I have, I find this very useful, and I just simply thaw the rats on a different day than I do the rodents, because I only have 4 snakes that eat rats, so there's more than enough room in there for 4 rats on a different day.